Why Alcatraz had America's best food. Alcatraz housed the worst criminals in America, but the conditions were better than in most prisons. The Rock had a one-man-per-cell policy. It made inmates less vulnerable to attack by fellow convicts. Inmates who behaved had access to the library. It had 15,000 books and 75 magazine subscriptions. Such privileges actually had security reasons. For example, Alcatraz had hot showers. This set it apart from most American prisons. But the reason was practical. The water in San Francisco Bay is very cold. Showers made it harder to escape. Potential escapees would find it hard to acclimate to the sea. Inmates were also fed gourmet meals. The daily menu changed most days. Dishes included pork shoulder with sage dressing and bacon jambalaya. All this was done to pacify the prisoners. At Alcatraz, a prisoner had 4 rights: food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. Everything else was a privilege that had to be earned. Inmates got 3 mandatory meals a day. They had medical services available as needed. There were dental and mental health services as well. The inmates even had their own rock band. It was called the Rock Islanders. Al Capone played banjo in it and even wrote a song. The most disciplined inmates were rewarded. Some had the opportunity to work in the staff's homes. Others tended the gardens. The recreation area even had a baseball diamond. Of course, Alcatraz was not a hotel. The cells were just 9 by 5 feet. They were very basic: a cot, a sink, and a toilet. Until the 1930s, a rule of silence was mandatory. Inmates could only talk to each other during meal times and recreation. They had to keep silent the rest of the time. There were religious services on Sundays. A rabbi would visit on Jewish religious holidays. Inmates in good standing could earn visitation rights. The average population of Alcatraz was 260. The Rock never reached its capacity of 336. Ultimately, it proved too expensive to run. The ocean eroded the buildings. Maintenance costs were sky high. Alcatraz cost $10.10 per person to maintain in 1950s dollars. That was 3 times as much as most federal prisons. It also relied on fresh water brought in by boat. The guards and their families lived on the island full-time. In 1963, Alcatraz was permanently shut down.